Welcome to Formula World. I'm your host Dylan Shelley, and here's what's on this episode. First up on Formula World is Vandoorne Facing the Axe. Vandoorne has been criticised by many as underperforming compared to his world champion teammate, and this has led to speculation that the Belgian driver may lose his seat at McLaren. And while his future is uncertain, his team boss Zak Brown has remained cryptic when asked about their situation with him. We know our situation with Stoffel. We're seeing what other opportunities may or may not be available. It's also about the package, experience and youth, especially in the situation we're in. Because we're rebuilding, to have two young drivers in our car wouldn't be a great place to be. If we had a better race car, then you might take a risk with two younger drivers because you've given them a good race car. Every racing driver knows that they need to perform at the highest level because teams are always looking for the best solution at that moment. Renault may overtake Ferrari and Mercedes. Renault have set bold targets for themselves since re-entering the sport as a works team, and have so far taken steps in the right direction. But team boss Cyril Abiteboul believes that despite the current gap between his team and the top, that Renault will catch them. Our current weakness is the chassis. The engine is good enough to put a car in pole position, to win races and fight for the title. Red Bull has proven this. I am convinced that we'll catch up with Mercedes and Ferrari in 2019, maybe even overtake them. I am satisfied with the performance increase, but not yet with the reliability. On the chassis side, we are still lagging aerodynamically. Haas versus Renault, the best of the rest. Renault technical director Nick Chester has come out saying that the battle for fourth place in the Constructors' Championship is going to be close between themselves and Haas. But with Renault bringing a new floor and other accompanying upgrades to Spa, he is hopeful they can fend them off. We're going to have to develop. Maybe when we get to race 15, race 16, we can review it, but by then most things will be in the process anyway. It's just too tight. With only 21 points in it, the Austria result could wipe that out. We've got to keep going, keep pushing, and just get pace on the car. And Haas driver Kevin Magnussen is convinced that there is a real possibility his team can clinch fourth place. It's possible. We've been faster in qualifying, so we can certainly qualify ahead of them. They seem to get a bit more out of the races and score more points than us. That's a fact. We need to improve our consistency still in the races. Ocon says Mercedes seat a matter of time. Force India and Mercedes junior driver Esteban Ocon is confident in his Mercedes bosses as he waits patiently for the opportunity to drive for the works team. Here's what he has to say about his current situation. The bosses at Mercedes have plans for me that are not yet. It's not the plan for now. I think they want me to have more experience before I jump in that car. I knew that already. I have targets I have to respect. At the moment, they are happy with the job I'm doing. It's just a matter of time, I think. My future will be sorted out soon. I'm not worried at all. I'm not in a position with a knife under my chin. Mandatory 2 pit stops? Head of Pirelli's motorsport division, Mario Isola, has opened up about some regulation discussions that have gone on behind the scenes and cautioned those involved over the risks of mandating two-stop races. There are discussions on how to design a better regulation, of course, but this is something that happens every year. And also the possibility to have mandatory 2 stops. If you say you have to use 3 compounds, that means you have to stop twice. Everybody will stop at the same time. It's not really something that is generating more strategies or different approaches. The more you add constraints, you probably start to have the same strategies. Fast feed. Fernando Alonso has come out saying that an update about his future is still a couple of months away. Lewis Hamilton says he will be a different athlete next season when the new regulations come in regarding weight limits. Former F1 driver David Coulthard doesn't see any downside to Red Bull's switch to Honda. Sauber boss Fred Vasseur says it would be a huge mistake to focus on other teams and went on to say he doesn't care where the team finishes this season. Pirelli say they are ready to face a potential tyre war. And Fernando Alonso is stripped of the Silverstone WEC win due to a technical infringement found on both Toyota cars. Formula World fans react. Is Alonso overrated? On the previous episode of Formula World, I asked whether you thought Alonso is overrated, and the results are in. And it's pretty clear, with 80% of you voting no, you do not think the two-time world champion is overrated. Will Vandoorne be axed? Be sure to vote in the poll by clicking the eye icon in the top right corner of this video, and let me know what you think down in the comments. And a special thanks to Blaze Hope and KC Croker for becoming Formula World members and helping support the show. And if you like this video, feel free to subscribe and check out my other videos for all the latest in the world of Formula 1.